Hey Clashers, Supercell has announced that there will be improvements for the current situation regarding ores in the game. On top of that, they said that there will be no epic equipment in the April season to make sure that people can catch up and upgrade their equipments accordingly. Well, and the first thing, the first impact, the first change we have already in the game, which means in your weekly trader, you can claim some free glowy ore. Yes, I've already claimed it. I mean, it was green, it was shiny, it was like worded free. I had to tap it, okay? I had to tap it right away. But if you have not claimed it, make sure that you do so. Otherwise, you only could so far claim ores with gems in the trader. This is going to change as well, or this has already changed, because if you're going into your raid medal shop, you can see there is now ore as well for your raid medals, which is as well a huge improvement. Yes, those are not the craziest numbers. I mean, 5 Seri ore is nice to have, or overall you can claim 10, which is nice, but it's not going to have the biggest impact. Top, I would say that it's overall not the worst that Supercell is adding more sources, and not like 1 or 2 sources which have crazy amount of ores in. So I think overall that's kind of nice. But the one thing which I'm still missing, so that's right now and so far the only change, but one thing which I would love to see, which I would really love to see, is that multipliers for star bonus or for clan war loot and stuff like that are working as well for the ore. Because why is that not the case, right? That makes no sense. For example, we just had the Rubble Rumble. Was a multiplier for the star bonus of 4. Why did it work only for gold, elixir, and dark elixir, and not for the ore? I would love to see that for the future, that it improved the ores as well. That is something which I guess on my wish list is right there. Because if an event is going on for 4 days with a multiplier of 4, you would get like 12,000 blue ore on top, and around like 600 or something of the purple ore as well, which is, that would be a lot. I mean, that would be highly appreciated. On top of that, I'm not really personally understanding why, for example, the perks, like the clan perks, do not work for ores either. So for example, they're level 9. War bonus extra loot, increased by 25%. But that doesn't work for ores. Again, I feel like, well, Supercell doesn't even need to have that many ore income sources. It's more about like just making sure that the ones which are already in the game are working properly. Because, well, come on, like the 25%, I would take that any day of the week. That would be quite amazing. So, well, I would just hope we see that in the future. For now, we just have the raid mail improvement now, that you can claim ores in there. I would personally go for glowy or starry ore. I think those are the most important ones, especially for me, because I mean, I'm buying as well like some ore offers. And with some, I mean all of them, to get all of the equipments as quickly maxed out as possible so I can create different videos about it. But as a free-to-play player, I think especially the starry ore is quite a game changer to make sure that you can upgrade your epic equipments, the ones which are already in the game, right? So that is for sure an important thing as well. On top of that, to like already a great change with the ores for raid medals, Supercell has talked about the balance right now in the game. Because that is right now a hot topic. Between casuals saying, yeah, root riders are dead now, to like still the crazy hit rates in the pro play with root riders and basically no changes. There is a huge variety of opinions about the current balance. The Supercell and, or like a lot of creators as well, have asked Supercell, what is going on? Like, what is the current plan? And Supercell has actually answered us and told us what the plan is, and we are allowed to share it with you guys. So, let me explain. First off, we had an incredible change in meta from Town Hall 15 to Town Hall 16. Take a look at those Clan War numbers, or Clan War League numbers more specific. You can see on the left side the Town Hall 15 hit rates, and on the right side the Town Hall 16 hit rates, which are, there's huge differences, right? Like just in Champion 1, it's nearly double the amount of hit rate on Town Hall 16 compared to Town Hall 15 back then, which is a huge change. Another question is, why did Supercell do that? I had already a speculation video on why Supercell did it, but now they're kind of confirming it on their own. So overall, Town Hall 15 was a huge experiment of like finding out how players would react if a meta and game overall is becoming way harder and way more challenging. Do people like that? Do people like the challenge? Do they think it's fun to like challenge themselves in the game, try to like sweat for the 3 stars? Is that a good thing or a bad thing? Well, Supercell has noticed that the play numbers were going down, that the interaction with the game was becoming less for those players, and everything has become kind of worse apparently, which is not a good thing for a game. I was already speculating on that based on I guess, third-party numbers which we had access to. But now it's kind of nice to see that Supercell is confirming that what I was already thinking. But has that now changed with Town Hall 16? Because that's now the next thing, that Town Hall 16 is at the same time as well an experiment to see how people like it if the game is getting way easier compared to before. Because, let's face it, we just have seen the numbers between Town Hall 15 and Town Hall 16. There are worlds in between, right? Like, this is insane how big the difference is. There's many different little steps Supercells could decide instead. Instead, they have went the complete opposite of the game, which is on the really hard side. It's now on the really easy side. And, well, Supercell said that they would like to have as well some time for the experiment to go on to kind of compare those two. So, based on my speculation, and that's not really important, that's a speculation, I would guess that we have this meta now for as well 1 year, because that's then easier for them to compare Town Hall 15 to Town Hall 16 and how the players overall react. But what Supercell already said so far is that Town Hall 16 players are way more engaging with the game. They are playing longer apparently, they have more re-interactions and stuff like that, which is obviously way better than for the game. So far it seems like the Town Hall 16 and the meta with the Town Hall 16 is a way bigger success when we're talking about the game health and the game environment, I guess. And that is something really important to note. I'm really looking forward to see like what exactly the future might bring there, because let's face it as well, right now whoever is enjoying the esports scene is not having the greatest time of their life. Because a lot of the highest level of the esports scene, we're talking a lot about 14 to 15 stars. Which is not the most fun to watch, let's be honest. I mean, there's no reason to hide that fact, right? So that's why I'm still hoping personally for a pro mode, because I have seen a lot of people saying that if there's a pro mode in the game, why should you watch esports? Because the pros are playing a different game than you, right? Like, why should you watch them? There's now the point which I personally don't understand. Because now the question to those people would be, would you actually be able to tell the difference of the queen shooting 5 times, 6 to 7 times versus one building? Do you count those shots? Do you really think you could tell the difference? Because I would, if no one would tell me that there is a pro mode, and I would just watch the match, I could not tell probably. Because I am not counting how many shots my queen takes, how many shots my king takes before he dies versus a cannon, and so on. Like, this is something which is not changing the game mechanics, it's just changing the game numbers, okay? And that is what I hope for a pro mode in the esports scene, because it would kind of bring back the vibe of Town Hall 15 for the top players, where they're a challenge to get the 3 stars, where they can sweat for the 3 stars as well. And on the other side, we have apparently, based on what Supercell is saying right now, and their numbers are showing, a way healthier game state, where people are enjoying the game more, they're coming back to the game more, and playing for way longer. Because whenever we take a look at third-party numbers, we can only see a really small part about the truth. For example, we can see player numbers. But do we really see then how active those players are? Do they but do they open the game by accident? Do they actually play the game? Do they play 1 attack, 2 attacks, 3 attacks? All of those are such different things, and only Supercell sees those stats. So apparently, Town Hall 15 so far was not the greatest success with making the game balance harder, and Town Hall 16 so far apparently has worked way better. Let's see what the future is going to bring, what Supercell is going to add to address the current problems, and if they can make most of the player base happy, because right now we have like the casual community, let's put it that way, which have a lot of fun right now, compared then to the more pro-oriented community, which right now is not enjoying the game as much. I'm really looking forward to see that Supercell is finding a solution there. As I said, my personal preferred option, I guess, would be the pro mode, I think, which would be kind of great to have like those 2 different options to then separate those communities. But either way, I hope that you enjoyed this video. I hope there was a bit more of insight of how you can understand and what exactly is going on. Otherwise, as well, thank you to Supercell of making sure that we can share those information with you guys to make sure that there are less questions around there in public and people are less wondering about stuff which is going on. Otherwise, thank you so much for watching. I will see you guys back tomorrow with the next class video. Until then, see ya and bye-bye.